and all that. No, actually going into that collaborative framework and setting up some kind of a model in which that student is actually aiming to start a career of being a teacher.
That's an interesting idea. We have a program called the Near Peer Mentor Program, where we take a student who is at the beginning of her or his teaching career, before they've had their first class, and we put them in a learning community, and they experience from a teacher who's in service what it means to be a mentor before they've heard anything about teaching and learning from a classroom. And then they always have examples to use when they're in those classes. So that's an interesting idea about a student internship.
It's a culture of conducting a plenty of action research and then sharing of the results with the rest of the network.
Great. Action research and sharing results. Action research means I've got a plan. I know what I'm going to do. But you folks have made me not follow it. Because I came in here and it's a different group of people with different expectations, and you have taught me that I need to listen to what your needs are, not what my needs are. And therefore I changed the research that I'm doing. It's action-based. It's how our mentoring needs to be as well. That it's not what we have planned, it's the needs of the people we're serving that count. So what a wonderful idea. Okay, we're going to move to the last thing because we have exactly 11 minutes unless we want to miss lunch. And I guess that missing any meal in Pakistan is like committing treason. It's a crime. I like this country, I tell you. Okay, what defines traditional collaboration for Beaconhouse? Okay, and we don't mean this to be critical. What we want to do is just say, okay, as we look at Beaconhouse right now, what have been the traditional kind of collaborations that have been there? And you don't have to describe whether they're positive or negative, just describe what a collaboration is. And then what defines a non-traditional collaboration? I think I am here working with you right now, and for me, this is a non-traditional collaboration. That I am leading a workshop, but you have influenced me as a collaborator in the process of the work that I do back home. And therefore, this is a very non-traditional collaboration. If my peers were to say, okay, let's have a collaboration, I say, okay, I think a good idea is for me to take off a week and go to Pakistan. They're going to look at me like, oh my goodness, this is not a good idea. What's wrong with this man? But I want us to think about those terms. What are the traditional and non-traditional collaborations? Not what exists, but just what kind of things do we do at Beaconhouse versus what kind of things have never been considered. And then we can ask, how can we incorporate these for a new vision that might take advantage of some things that we have not thought about before? Okay? I think the leaders are very interested in knowing what kind of things could develop, not how do we take what we've had and just continue to reformulate it. It's really considering new ideas. So this is your last set of questions. Okay? What are traditional collaborations? Doesn't matter whether they're good or bad, we're not going to go that direction. And then what are non-traditional ones that haven't been considered? And then how could these two be merged to make some new ideas for people? All right, so let's see what kind of definitions we have and what kind of traditional collaborations can be described in some non-traditional ones, and then we'll talk about combinations. So what are some traditional collaborations at Beaconhouse? Coordination meetings. Okay, staff meetings. Okay, operations. Observations. I didn't know what you meant by
Nobody's operated.
So I was going to ask what that meant. What else? Staff meetings, okay.
Traditional corporation starts with the induction programs at
Induction
VSS
course.
that we have.
Start with induction programs
Induction course.
Induction courses. This time it's a growth.
and courses, okay.
Coordinated lesson plans.
Coordinated lesson plans,
Co-teaching.
Coordinated papers, assessments.
coordinated papers,
Co-teaching. That includes
assessments, co-teaching.
The ETAC program, integration with information technology.
Pardon?
workshops.
We have an ETAC program.
E-Tech programs.
Co-teaching is there.
Okay. How about non-traditional? Things that you haven't.
Beaconhouse.
Non-traditional, as it has just taken a start in Beaconhouse.
Co-teaching should what?
Traditional. It's non-traditional. It's non-traditional.
Is non-traditional.
Yes.
Beaconhouse conference is also.
This content is a non-traditional.
This conference is non-traditional.
Yes.
And it's a good example of an induction.
Online forums.
Online forums. Okay, so what we're talking about here are collaborations for induction. So, say for example, I want to have induction of new teachers. So what I normally would do is a biologist, I'd say, okay, you new faculty member here are going to come and we're going to sit you down, we're going to tell you all about Hiram College, and we're going to take you on a tour, and then you're going to come observe a class, and then twice a semester I'm going to come in and I'm going to observe you, but you're going to tell me ahead of time what you're going to do, and I'm going to then see if you do it, and then I'm going to tell you how you can do it better. Well, that's going to lead to more of the same thing. A non-traditional collaboration would be to say, okay, I'm going to have you in the summer, I've got a grant, and I'm going to ask you to be involved with a one-week workshop. And during that workshop, we're going to have high school students, and you're going to mentor the high school students and the teachers, and you're going to have exactly 1 day to cover a whole week of course material in a class. And so you're going to force everybody to work together. They can't possibly do all the work on their own. But as a group, when they collaborate, they will get the work done. And this is just like happens in the real world, because you have a grant, it's due tomorrow, and you've got a paper, it's due tomorrow. If everybody works on it together, you can get it done. If you work on it yourself, you won't. And so this forces a collaboration with the new teacher, and it's with teachers from other institutions. It's completely non-traditional induction, but it, in fact, gets people more aware of what to do. So that's a non-traditional collaboration. So you have talked about co-teaching as a non-traditional way, but it would depend upon how you define what the co-teaching is. An online forum could be non-traditional. Some of the other things that could be. What are some other non-traditional collaborations?
We can bring the presenters from other organizations or systems together on one platform. This
Okay.
would be non-traditional.
Presenters from other systems
Or organizations.
or organizations.
And peer observation.
Peer observations.
Discussion forums.
Pardon? Discussion forums. Okay, so it sounds like some of these things we're branching into. If you define it one way, it's non-traditional. If you find the same term a different way, it's traditional. And that we need to maybe look at these together with the Beaconhouse leadership to see how to bring it about. Do we have any last things that we want to include for collaborations that would help to facilitate this process? Yes?
I think some school-based focus discussions would be helpful.
School-based
Focus discussions.
focus.
Because once the needs are identified, then these discussions can take them through.
What I believe that all these discussions can We need to share, unless and until these discussions would be, compiled to some change in the policies, only then these discussions can be, helpful. Otherwise, these platforms, we had these opportunities of discussing so many matters on the platform, but later it's frustrating and we remember. We had discussed this then 2 years back, 3 years back, until and unless they are formalized.
Great, so moving forward with policy change based on the discussions from this conference and other places.
One
Yes.
last. Expert teacher and novice teachers partnership.
Expert and novice
Teachers
teacher
partnership for
partnerships.
induction.
Okay, so we have just, yeah.
That expert teacher has to be the responsible one.
That's who an expert teacher.
Great.
Can I say one thing? Basically, we should now shift the focus from working on the teachers to working with the teachers.
So shift from working
On
on
the teachers to working with the teachers.
working with teachers. So all of these ideas really pull together many of the terms we've been talking about. Respect, and trust, and cooperation, and working together, collaboration rather than authoritative, top-down, we're going to do this. So I think we have many, many good ideas that came out of this. I want to thank you. I'm going home with many new ideas from working with you folks that I think will help